Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. We're going to do some mini readings tonight. I usually do this broadcast on Fridays, but I was actually invited to a ceremony that is tomorrow night and goes all the way until Saturday morning. And so this weekend, tomorrow's my birthday too. I don't know if you guys knew that, but this weekend it was just all of a sudden, boom, everything was different than originally planned. But I'm really excited about it. So I decided to go live today because I didn't want to miss the mini readings. I know how much you guys freaking love them. And so I'm here today for anyone that wants to do a mini reading. We already have 2 people on the list, and I'm not going to do what I did last week where I did like, I don't know how many readings. We went like way overboard, but I'm going to do, we'll see how it goes. I want to be here for about an hour or so. So we'll just see how it goes. If you do want to sign up for a reading, the list is open. You can click the link in the description and send $25 to my PayPal. And once I receive it, I add your name to the list that I have in front of me. And then when it's your turn, I'll call your name and I will let you know to put up your question in the chat. So hello, Chloe. Nice to see you. So those are basically the instructions for mini readings. And like I said, this is usually on Fridays, but today we're doing it on Thursday. And I know I'm so excited. It's my birthday tomorrow. I honestly was like not going to do anything. Like I'll just be real. I was like, I didn't even care. I was like, just another day, you know, just like keep up with work and do this and that. And then like out of nowhere, I get this invitation yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, there's a ceremony. It's on my birthday, like exactly on my birthday. And it's like like a sacred ceremony. And so I was like, this is more than just synchronistic, because I wasn't even planning on celebrating my birthday at all. I was just going to do the regular thing, you know, but it just felt right. And so I do want to thank everyone, because I've had to rearrange like a few things. Sunday is going to be insane. I hope I'm like awake on Sunday for like the shenanigans that will be going on, because on Sunday I'll have the Moon Goddess training, and then we have our cleanse Zoom, and then we have our Starseed membership Zoom. So, but you know what? The ceremony that I'm going to is actually 2 hours away, and it's amazing because someone's going to actually pick me up and then drop me off on the way back. And we do, to tell you guys a little bit about kind of what it entails, you do have to stay up all night. So, and you are awake all night. You're not allowed to like sleep or lay down or anything like that. You're very much awake and present, and your presence is very much needed in the ceremony. And so because of that, it just really, the day after, there's no doing anything. And it's usually hard for me to drive the day after. So it's kind of a miracle. See, all these pieces fit together that I'm going to be able to ride with someone and then get a ride back. And I'm like, okay, that's enough yeses for me. So Moon Goddess training, goddesses, thank you so much for understanding. And I'm so excited. And I can't wait to tell you all about it on Sunday. And we're also doing the Temple of DOTERRA on Sunday, which is, oh my God, like mind blowing. Every week just gets more and more mind blowing in the Moon Goddess training. So I can't wait to see you guys on Sunday. And can't wait for this ceremony. I literally spent the entire day getting caught up with everything all the way until Monday, just in case. It's like I did it all. I did all the emails, and there's like tons of emails that had to go out because of all the reminders for the Zooms. And it's like your brain can really explode when you're the only one that does it all. But I just did it. I got all the membership emails done. I've got all my stuff. I got it all ready. I kind of cleared away the path so that all I have to just worry about is just like once this is done, I just have to get ready and be ready because I'm going to get picked up tomorrow morning. So I know. Thank you. So I am really, really excited. Is Jeanette and Jude, are you guys here in the chat? Because Jeanette, you're the first one on the list. And then Jude, you're the second one on the list. So if you are in the chat, let me know and go ahead and put up your question, Jeanette. And then we'll get started with our mini readings. And in the meantime, I'll just kind of chat, with you guys and tell you how exciting this is. It's very, very synchronistic. So I am really, really, it's kind of wild how it all came up. But, my life is like this. So it's kind of cool to be able to also have the kind of work that, there are moments where things can be moved around and it's not like the end of the world. And so in that way, I'm very grateful for the work that I do. But it is also not usual for me to like do this at all, but it's my birthday. that was the yes. I was like, I was going to be all alone. My husband's not home. So I was going to literally be all alone on my birthday. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just go to the ceremony. So it's amazing. Let me say hi to everybody that is in the chat. Hello, Melanie. Welcome in. Hello, Raven. Welcome in. Hello, SB. Hello, Christy Ann. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And Jeanette is in here as well. So you are first, Jeanette. So go ahead and put up your question and let me know what you want to do. So the week before, we started doing human design readings. And so I just added them. Like we can just do those. Like obviously in a mini reading, you're not going to be able to go as deep into everything like human design has to offer. But I'm excited because I feel like this is the next frontier for me. Human design, definitely amazing. Open for any message that comes through working on letting go of a toxic relationship. So let's do a tarot card reading for you. Let's do that. That sounds like the right method to use for this situation. All right. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, teachers, for being here with us this evening. I would like to ask help clearing the energy of the cards as well as my energy so I can be that open channel of grace and intuition and these beautiful messages to flow through tonight. So hello, Fola. Welcome in. Okay, Jude, I just got your message. So you did say you want human design. Okay, we got it. Don't worry. You're going to be after Jeanette. All right, here we go. We're going to do the 5-card pull. So intuition, challenge, overall theme, wisdom from the ancestors, and then animal spirit for this situation that you are dealing with in letting go of a toxic relationship. Let's see what does Jeanette need to know in regards to this situation. What wisdom can she receive right now that will help her to either understand or know what to do next? Thank you, Fola. All of that good stuff. And if you want to get on the list is open. Okay. And let's do one card. Okay. All right. So here we go. The very first card that you get is the Six of Swords. And this card is actually, it's a positive card. This is, in the intuition spot. And the Six of Swords is, it's very much like moving forward. It's very much an energy of transition. It is very much like an exit. There's an exiting here that is going on. It's sort of like there's been an ending. So what this card is saying is you are moving beyond this. You are moving beyond this. I think this is confirmation. I think that you may feel like it's impossible, because depending on the situation, like it can be very difficult, depending on who we're dealing with when we're getting rid of, relationships that are just, not working for us. But I think that you have to trust that you are moving in the right direction, but you do need to exit. Like that's the intuition. It's like you need to make the exit. You need to move beyond it. You need to make the transition in however, whatever that means to you. Does it mean, blocking somebody? Does it mean taking space? Does it mean just saying I need space? Like, like you need to make the exit. And that's very, very, very important message coming through as the very first card. This is the challenge. The challenge for you is the Nine of Swords. And so what's going on is that there's a lot of, there's anxiety. This is a card of anxiety. This is a card of being overwhelmed by the situation. You may be experiencing like negative thoughts, negative, even nightmares, like the essence or the energy of a nightmare. Like this feels like a nightmare to you. And so to be able to move through this is something that is really important for you to do, but it is causing you a lot of anxiety. That's why you absolutely have to make the exit. Otherwise, it'll continue to bring up, the anxiety. That's the challenge, is you need to move through the anxiety that this is bringing you, but it's all in the mind. These are sword cards. It's all in your head. It's all in your mind. And trust me, and I know this because the minute that we make space for ourselves and make boundaries for ourselves, we realize how much of it is like actually just us tormenting ourselves about it. Because the making of the boundary is not necessarily a difficult thing to do. We make it difficult, but the making of the boundary is actually simple. You just make the boundary. It's what you're left with in your head that is the hard thing. That's the shadow of it. That's you continuing to perpetuate the negative thoughts and the situation in your mind by not allowing the clarity to like seep into your whole body, mind, and spirit. Because you have to live coherently, right? We're learning this in the Moon Goddess training. You have to live coherently in what you think, what you feel, and what you do. And so if you say you're going to make a boundary, but then you don't really make it, if you say you're trying to, figure this out, but then you're not really taking any action, you're not doing anything about it, then you're not living coherently. And so that's the challenge, is how do we live coherently in, body, mind, and spirit, where you say one thing, I want to get rid of this toxic relationship. You feel aligned with that. Yes, this is damaging to me. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want, it's hurting me in some way, like emotionally, and then physically, okay, so I'm going to take this action to make this happen. That is living coherently. And you're going to realize that a lot of it is in your mind, because once you make that separation, like it took me, oh my God, like 4 years or something to like realize that a lot of the stuff that I was experiencing when it came to a toxic relationship that I was dealing with, I separated myself from it for 4 years. And it took me that long to realize a lot of it. I had learned the behavior, and I had learned I was conditioned. I was conditioned to like have a negative emotional response. It's almost like a trauma response. And so anytime any little thing about this relationship came up, a thought, an emotion, something happened, it kept coming up for me. And I was like seriously zero contact with this person. So it made no sense to me if I wasn't even talking to them and no, like they didn't have anything to do with my life anymore for 4 years. Why was I still suffering inside? And that's the conditioning that we need to release from ourselves. But you will not become aware. You will not realize that this is what's going on until you make that boundary. And that's the most important thing. The 8 of Pentacles is the card that comes out for you. This is about perseverance. This is about education. And this is about focusing on the details. So when I see the word education, I feel like you're in the right place to learn the right tools, right? You're in the Moon Goddess training to learn the right tools to help you persevere. But the other thing is that it's really, really important that it's going to take time. This card, this is cool because we have Sekhmet in this image. And then the columns behind the statues of Sekhmet, which is the lioness goddess, are the Karnak temple. So we just got done going through the Karnak temple. And in the Karnak temple, we learned all about the body. So this is really beautiful that this is coming through. This is a reminder to listen to your body. Where are you feeling this in your body? What system of your body is being really truly affected by this? And you can figure that out by just sitting down and contemplating what is really happening for me, and how is this, how's my body like, having to deal with this? And when you do that, you're going to have more clarity as to like what to work on, how to focus, how to heal, how to take care of yourself through this transition. Now, the Judgment card is the wisdom from the ancestors. And in this card, we have Thoth, and we also have the feathers. He's holding the feathers of wisdom in his hands. But this is the Judgment card, and it's very fitting, right? It's a very, very fitting. Now, what I love about the Judgment card is I always talk about this when the Judgment card comes out. In general, this card is about actually taking action. You need to take action. It's about renewal, and it's about absolution. So it's like clearing yourself, renewing yourself of something that is obviously, like you were mentioning, very toxic. 9 of Swords, it's causing you anxiety. The Judgment card too, though, is about like the last judgment, not in the religious sense. What I mean by this is the last judgment where you learn to step outside of the picture. And when you learn to take that step outside of the picture, you are going to see what are all the little mechanics that are going on, all the little karma links, all the little like connections that that you're dealing with right now with this situation, with this relationship. And you're going to have that bird's eye view that'll give you comfort just because you can see what's happening, and you don't have to attach yourself like so intensely to it. You can detach. You can actually stop judging yourself. You can stop judging the other person. You can become the eagle. Remember in the temple of Kom Ombo, the eagle has to become the scorpion because he has to feel its way through the shadow. But once it's done with that, it emerges back into the light. The light begins to emerge from it. And that's the release of the judgment. That is the release of, so eventually you will get to this place, and your spirit guides are telling you, like, you're going to get to this place. It's just going to take time because you have to understand how it all works first before you can really start to make the right choices and make the right decisions about it. But this is a very powerful reading. And the animal that you get is the spider. And this is the same thing. So what I'm getting from this card is this relationship is obviously karmic. I just got done recording the Saturn retrograde video. It's actually up on the portal if you are in the Starseed membership. The email that says it's uploaded is not going to go out till Saturday because it's not beginning till Saturday. But I'm just letting you guys know I recorded it and it's already up there because, like I said, I got everything done for the whole weekend, including Monday. So basically, what I get from this is Saturn's going retrograde, and during this 4.5 period of Saturn retrograde, we're going to be burning off karma. There's links. This is two different messages. One of them is you are linked to this person energetically and karmically. The other one is seeing the bigger picture again, because the spider web is like the web that weaves everything together. What are the connections you may want to do? I hope that you're moving into level 2. I really do, of the Moon Goddess training, because in level 2, one of the things we're going to have is a powerful experience of going into the Akashic records. So in level 1, we do Akashic journeys into the Akashic records, into the ancient temples, and go through the initiatic path. And then in level 2, the Akashic journeys are going to become much more personal, dealing with our own shit. And one of the things that we're going to do, and I'm feeling like past life regression in a way could be something that helps you to understand the connections between you and this person and why this is something that you have to deal with. But the other thing that is even more important is soul contracts. What is the soul contract that you have with this person? What did you come here to learn from this person? And we're going to go into the Akashic records and go and have a journey of our own soul contract with a specific person of our choosing, and have the journey to understand the soul contract with that person. And that could be really helpful to have that bigger picture. So obviously the message that's coming through, I hope this is resonating with you, but I definitely feel like it's intense. You're in the right place. You're doing the right thing. You're moving in the right direction, but you need to make the exit. At some point, you need to make the commitment to what you want. You need to become coherent, what you're saying, what you're feeling, and what you're doing. And that's what I say is the underlying powerful message for you today. Thank you. That was amazing. I absolutely loved doing that reading. Okay, let me update the list. And we do have Jude next. She wants a human design reading. So the person that got on the list after Jude is Yvonne. All right. That's powerful. Jeanette, that was a powerful reading. Okay. I'm going to do a little screen share here. This is going to be fun. I love the variety now. We have so much variety. 100% resonates. Level 2 much. Yep. Yep. I can't wait for level 2. I love it all. I love it all. But I think level 2 is, we're going to take it to the next level, literally. Okay. Let me do a little iPad share. Okay, so we're going to do a human design reading for Jude. Okay, so I think you guys you should be able to see it. Yeah, I think you see it. Let's go to get your chart. And we've got Jude. 6, 29, 49. 4:35 p.m. and Watertown. New York. All right, I think I got it right. 4:35 p.m., 6/29, 1949. Okay. Let's check it out. Okay, Yvonne is Fola. Okay. Oh, I guess it didn't. Okay, 29. 6/29, 1949. Okay, here we go. That is so interesting. So you're friends with Jeanette, right? Am I correct? You guys are both manifestors. That is really, really interesting. So the thing to understand about the manifester is you're known as like the fire starter, and you're somebody who is here to get something started for other people to join in. So what happens with the manifester is that they tend to have a lot of ideas. They tend to have a very intuitive, like action-oriented type of expression. And they are the ones that are actually able to make things happen. They're actually able to make things, to get things going. And so the problem is that, especially in your design, you only have 2 defined centers, which is the solar plexus and the throat. You don't have a defined root, sacral, spleen, ego, identity, ajna, or head center. And this means that you have a lot of open centers, which means that you are, you're sensitive to other people's energies. And so you may often feel pressured by people to make decisions when in reality, because you have the emotional authority, you need to wait for this emotional wave, the emotional highs and the emotional lows. You need to wait till you're in a neutral space to actually make decisions. And so waiting for that flow can feel like really, you can get really impatient. So you need to learn to be patient with yourself about the highs and the lows. And when you're in some kind of intense emotional wave, it's going to be challenging for you to make decisions from that space. You really should not make decisions. You shouldn't make decisions from the high emotional state, and you shouldn't make decisions from the low emotional state. You need to make decisions when you are in a neutral place. And then you also need to recognize that you don't have this defined sacral, which means you don't have this consistent energy to do everything that you want to do. And you're not really meant to be the one to actually do it. You're meant to be the one that initiates it and gets it going. And then the generators and possibly the manifesting generators, if they feel aligned with the vision, with what you began, then they are the ones that are really there to help you get, this vision done, help you get this thing done. But you have the capability of literally making things happen. And so for manifestors, it's easy to understand the law of attraction because in your life, most of the time in your life, you've probably noticed that things just kind of naturally happen for you. It's not difficult for you to make things happen. And that's only a phenomenon of the manifestor. All the other signs, that's not how life works for them. So it's hard for manifestors to understand how other people function and why they can't get things going in their life when they seem like it's so easy, you know? That's a big thing to recognize too, is to understand your human design, and to understand the human design of other people is so important because it'll help you to relax, you know? You have to just do your thing, and you have to let people do their own thing. And this is a big part of the energy of, you know, being the manifestor. You're also a 5-1, and the 5-1 can be you're known as the challenge solver, and with the 5-1 personality, what you can get is you become sort of this like heretic in a way. You have the possibility of what's the word I'm looking for? You have the possibility of having a lot of like recognition, but you also have the possibility of like people really being against you, because what happens with the 5-1 is that people tend to project onto you whatever they see in you, and it's not necessarily true. It's just what they see in you. So if you reflect to them something about themselves that they don't like, they're going to think that's you, and they're going to like blame you for it. But you are also here as someone who is a natural fixer and a natural leader. And so people are attracted to that. They're very attracted to the manifestor because somehow they seem like magical beings that can make anything happen, you know? It's just a matter of, do you surround yourself, you know, with the right people, because you will draw in a lot of people. And that's the general theme of, you know, the life of the 5 and the 5-1. So what you need to do is work on what you feel is really important to you. You really have to find something that's important to you. And you may find this by studying. You may find this by, you know, finding a solid foundation of knowledge of something creative, something practical, something that makes you feel like you know something, you know. And you may have developed this in your life. You may have found something that you really love and you just kind of really threw yourself into it. You may have also had a lot of fame in certain aspects in your life, or you may have, you know, as they say, like been burned at the stake kind of a thing, because that's what happens. So your aura as a manifestor is, it's a closed and repelling aura. So you are basically telling people with your aura that everybody needs to just get out of the way. There's sort of this funny, it's a funny, connection with, or description of the manifestor aura, that they're like a bowling ball and they're just like, you know, they're just gonna go through and like, get out of my way. So what you need to learn to do, and it's never too late to learn your strategy, or to learn your strategy, which is to inform. So you need to tell people what you're going to do, and as you begin to learn how that works, you'll learn that you'll face a lot less resistance from people in your life, because manifestors tend to just go and do things, and then they get frustrated when they get resistance from people. People get frustrated when you don't tell them what you're doing. They don't like it. But the minute you tell them, they're going to understand that you are this kind of powerful being that is able to just do things. And so they'll get out of the way because you've informed them that you're going to, you know, do this or do that. And so that's what I would kind of give you as a bit of like an introduction into, you know, your chart. There's a lot more detail in everyone's chart. For example, like the gates and the channels, and knowing which circuitry is the strongest in your chart. And when you understand the gates that are activated in your chart, you also understand sort of these potential kind of gifts, and also shadows that you need to learn to transmute into your gifts. And that's what I would do like in a deeper human design reading is go through all of the gates and talk about a little bit more about, you know, all of the centers and which ones are defined and undefined, and what also that means for you. But in a general sense, in these mini readings, I feel like that's a good solid foundation for people to go by from their human design chart. So that is what I got for you, my dear. Thank you so much. And next we have Fola. So go ahead and put up your question, Fola. And thank you, Jude, for getting that reading. I hope that gave you some insights into your design. And I absolutely love, like one of the things I love, this isn't very interesting for me. So I tend to attract into my life people that are into like adulthood, my age, or actually sometimes much older. And I actually love that. I used to be like, how come I don't have any like younger students or whatever? And the reason is because I feel that I'm here to, one of the things, it's just a phenomenon that happens for me. Is like that something about the people get inspired, you know, to really step into their uniqueness and to step into their own power. And somehow I love that. Actually, I love working with like people that are like well into their adulthood, and that they are they've gone through so much ish, and now they get to like learn a whole new way. But obviously I love working with everyone. I've just noticed that a lot of people that I work with are either they're just like a few years older or like much older. It's a very interesting thing for me, because I feel like I'm young. And I'm going to be 38 tomorrow. So I feel like this is a very in a young place to like have all this knowledge that I have, but it's because I've studied so much. So sometimes it's like slightly awkward to like work with people that are much older, but that's just the phenomenon that happens. So I actually really appreciate it. So, I love that. I love when I see people that are like, they're like wanting to really like turn everything around and really understand themselves. That's like my passion. I've literally like been into this kind of thing for a long time for myself. I've been on the journey of self-discovery that has led me to realize that I'm here to help others to understand themselves. And now that I've learned these systems that can help people understand themselves, it's almost like things can just like really, I feel like things are just kind of blowing up and expanding so strongly this year, and I love it. Fola, to help you decide, you just saw the human design reading, so you know what that's like and what kind of information you're going to get. If there's a specific situation that you want wisdom on, I would recommend tarot. So just decide. And there's no one else on the list after Fola, you guys. So if anyone wants to get on the list, this would be the time to do it. Because as the minute there's no more readings, then I'm just gonna end the broadcast. So if you guys are thinking about it, then get on the list now, because Fola is right now, as of now, the last person on the list. I absolutely love doing the human design readings too. I mean, I'm just like learning so much, just like absorbing. I can't stop. My brain literally can't stop watching the videos. It's amazing. You guys, I can't believe I'm going to a ceremony. Yeah, right now. Right now. Yeah, right now. Go to the link in the description and then send $25 to my PayPal. And once I get the notification, then your name will be on the list. Like someone just got on the list. It's Raessa. So after Fola, it's now Raessa. Fan-freaking-tastic. All right, so Fola, for human design, we are going to need all your like details as if you were getting an astrology reading. Date of birth, time, and location. And I will share the screen so we can pull it up for you. I'm getting more and more excited. Oh my God. As like the time is flying. Like, oh my God, I can't even believe it that tomorrow I'm going to a freaking ceremony. Okay, it was the right choice. I'm getting really excited about it. I can't wait to tell you guys all about it when I get back. Oh my God. If you're in the membership, I'll talk about it on Sunday. It's going to be awesome. All right, here we go. We got May 5th. 93. Got it. And 2:55 a.m. Okay. And then the location is Edson. Oh no, Edison. New Jersey, right? Yeah. Okay, May 5th, 1993, Edison, New Jersey at 2:55 a.m. All right. Let's check out the magic. Okay. So, Fola, you are a manifesting generator. You're basically a generator that has this sort of added kind of magic to you. However, this can really confuse. I feel like a lot of manifesting generators, there's a lot of people that I know that are manifesting generators. And there's like a little bit of a trick to understand your type. The first thing that you need to understand is that you're a generator first. And the manifesting part is kind of like extra sprinkles. But you need to learn to work with your strategy, which is to respond before you attack things. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Before you go and do what you want, because you're going to have an impulse as a manifesting generator to like, oh my God, I have this great idea. I'm just going to go do it. Yeah. But let's see, what is your authority? You have Sacral Authority. So your authority is to listen to your gut. To listen to your gut. I like that you're a 2-4. That is actually really, really cool. So here's what's going to happen. Your strategy is to listen to the gut instinct, and the gut instinct, the sacral center works like this. Well, you're mostly going. The way that you're supposed to make decisions, and this is the only way that you're supposed to make decisions, is that gut instinctive in like right away, or You will know right away. It's a body thing. It's not, our mind likes to override our decision making with really all the types. It's really weird for me because I'm a mental projector. And so I kind of, they call it mental authority, or they call it no authority. And just like the reflectors have they don't have an authority of making decisions. So it's really challenging for them to make decisions, and they kind of have to wait like a long time to really process something. And like for me, I have to really talk about it with other people. Like I just need sounding boards. And when I have those sounding boards, just listening to myself talk, it doesn't even matter what anybody else really says to me or what I should do. I figure out what I'm going to do by listening to myself talk and like sound ideas off to other people. So I am one of those rare types that can actually use my mind to make decisions. But you are a Sacral Authority, which means that you need to make decisions with your body. It's it's either a fuck yes, 100%, or it's a no. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. That's like straight up how I would say that you need to make decisions. So here's what's going to happen when you don't listen to that. What's going to happen is you're going to get really frustrated with life. Things are going to get just frustrating. You're going to feel like things are not working out. Like they're not they're not going in the direction that you want. You have all these things. You're going to try to do all these things and you have all these ideas. But the problem is that first and foremost, you are a generator. So you need to learn how to respond to life. So you'll have an idea and you kind of had to respond to your own idea. Like you can't just think that whatever instinctual desire you have to do something, to initiate something, to start something, you can't trust that because that's not your authority. But that's what happens with manifesting generators is they think they have these great ideas because we just talked about a manifester. They can do that. They don't have the generating part. They can just go do it. That's what they're meant to do. But as a manifesting generator, you take a lot of quantum leaps in life because you can like get things going. But if you lose track of your ability to respond even to your own ideas, you will skip so many steps and you'll have to trace back and go back through all those steps and start at square one again. So it is a very, very important thing that you recognize that you need to respond to life, even respond to your own ideas and your own like desires to initiate things. Because you're not here to initiate, you're here to respond. You can take quantum leaps, but you need to remember that it's better if you follow the steps because that will take you there in a more not organized way, but in a way that might feel a little bit more fulfilling. And it may actually happen faster than you think, because you're skipping steps. You're like, oh, I don't need to do that or that or that. I'm just going to go and do this. And then you do have to do all of that. So it's learning about, what is your, how far off, because people mostly don't know their design. And so they're living way off of what their design is. So understanding your strategy and your authority first is the most important. And then it's coming back to the center of that, coming back to the natural expression of who you are. You are a 2-4, which is called the easy breezy genius. There's other words to describe it. It's also called the hermit opportunist. So basically what that means for you is that you are like a dancer through life. If you let yourself, there are things that you are really gifted at that are really natural to you that you wouldn't even consider them as gifts. But other people see it in you and they're like, holy shit, how do you do that? And you're like, I don't know, I just do it. So you need to learn what those things are for you and you need to recognize that they are gifts because not everybody has that natural ability to just flow through life and dance through life. And so you need to work on gathering this network. You need to work on your network because that is what you're here to, how you're here to be, successful in life is to network with people. You're not gonna like sort of become famous or whatever or like well known in that sense. How it's going to happen for you, like success in your life, is through that networking. You have to wait for the opportunities. The opportunities show up. That's why it's called the opportunist. When the opportunity shows up, listen to your gut, right? And follow that strategy and then initiate. And if you keep following that, you will always like be in this beautiful flow. I'm also a 2-4. I'm a projector, so there's a very different strategy, but I know that the energy of the 2-4, the dancer, the flowing through life, like this beautiful, you just glide and people look at you and they think, oh my God, like life is so easy for her. And it's like, it's not. You're just naturally good at some things. And you need to also understand like the opportunities are important for you to take a hold of, but obviously the opportunities are not going to come every day. So you got to be paying attention and you got to know your strategy and, you got to learn to respond with your gut to life. So this is where the manifesting generators get confused is they think they're here to initiate And in a sense, they are, but they're really here to be the generator first. You need to understand what the generator is first before you can just like start like doing things in life. And I think that to me, that's the key for manifesting generators is once they understand that, they can relax. They can relax. And I think that that is the key to give them the opportunity to really start manifesting some beautiful things in their life, because they do have that in them. It's just they forget to listen to their authority first before initiating action. So that's what we got for you, my dear. I hope that was awesome and resonated for you. All right, Reessa, you are next, my dear. And then Angels in Training is next. Is that you go with the flow? All right. How am I doing, you guys? How am I doing? I love this human design thing. Oh my God. I'm like obsessed right now. All right. May 31st. And 1991. And 3:45 p.m. I will never, like, I want to know everyone's human design that I work with personally. Like, it is now going to be a part of like everything I do, because it'll help me so much to like it'll give me clarity as to how to work with that person. As a projector, I need to know everyone's design that I work with, like that I do readings for, especially the one-on-one readings. Because once I know what I'm dealing with, like what's in front of me, then I know how to interact with that person and what advice to give them. All right, location is Greenville, Mississippi. Okay. All right, here we go. I love this. Okay, so you're a projector. We kind of knew that. So you are a seer, people who can see a better, more efficient or upgraded approach to specific things or a specific thing, and are here to share that with others. Your strategy is to wait for the invitation, and you have splenic authority, which means you need to listen to your instincts. You're also the 5-1. And so I talked a little bit about what the 5-1 is. The 5-1 is basically the heretic investigator or something like that. I can't remember exactly the name that the official human design gives it. But this is, you're going to really be like projected onto. But learning systems and learning designs as a projector is going to help you so much, because the 5 is also the fixer. The 5 is also known as the fixer. You're here to fix something in the world. But as a projector, you have to master at least one system. And so natural for projectors to be drawn to understanding systems. I mean, my whole life, all I wanted to do is understand how things work and why. And you have that natural flow. You have that natural flow to really be drawn to that. So the investigator is the one. The one is also the creator. So in the Gene Keys energy. So it's the fixer and creator. So you're going to create something that will help fix something in the world. So it is, in a sense, you do have that energy in a sense of a teacher. And so what you need to remember is that, people will project onto you and it won't feel good. But you need to trust that, like, that's just what happens, with this energy of the 5-1. But you have the ability to become really well known. The 5-1s tend to have a lot of success in life. They tend to become well known and famous. So just throwing that out there. Okay. So I love that you actually have this channel 4323, because this is also my only defined channel is the 2343 channel. And it is the channel. Let me find exactly what is, give me 1 second. I got my cards laminated. This is like the best thing ever. Yeah, the channel of knowing. The channel of knowing. So it moves from the shadow of avoidance to the gift of knowing into the city of unknowing. This channel, which means being okay, like studying and learning, but then being okay with not knowing. That is the ultimate state of knowing. I know you know what that means, but I think that's so amazing that you have, this channel connected. And so you, like me, can express your thoughts through your voice, through your throat, through what you say, but you also have this other channel between the spleen and the throat. And this is what makes you that splenic projector. And so splenic authority, what I know about the splenic authority is that you have these kind of instinctual ability to see when something is safe and when something is not safe. You have a natural ability to know when to do things. But the problem with the defined spleen, it's not a problem. This is just, you got to learn how it works. It can really do that in the moment. So you're an in the moment person. You can't plan ahead. You're not going to know. The spleen is not going to know 6 months from now, 10 months from now, what to do. It's not like that. This is an in the moment thing. That's why trusting, it's like instinctual. It is very much about instincts. It's the oldest center to develop. And it's really about, the times when we needed our instinct to guide us to do things in life. My husband is actually a splenic projector. He has splenic authority. And that's what it is for him. It's he knows right away. You have to learn to trust that within yourself. You have to learn to trust. You may get this gut feeling danger, danger, danger. Pay attention to that. And you may get the feeling of safe. This is safe. This is good. I feel it's right. And then you got to listen to that, because that's the first way for you to really move through anything that shows up and to know what to do. You need to know that you are in the moment. Yeah, in the moment is where the gift is. And that really is what is the power. Obviously, as a strategy, you need to remember. You need to wait for the invitation. You have wisdom to share. It's deep instinctual wisdom, and you have things to say, and you can express your mind. And so it can be really hard. I also have that defined channel, the throat and the ajna. Throat and the ajna are my only defined the defined centers. But you have this ability to speak your mind, and it's so hard not to say something when someone in front of you is what you want to say, especially in the moment, but you can't, because you don't want to violate right, your strategy, your authority. Now the channel 4816 is the channel of talent that moves from the shadow of deficiency to the gift of talent to the city of sublimity. So you may think of the shadows for that. Hello, Peter. Think of the shadow for that. I think you may have the shadow of feeling like you're deficient in something, like there's nothing for you to offer. And when you realize that what your intuitive gift is, which is this very like instinctual in the moment knowing, that is a talent, that is a gift. It's about moving into and really honoring and practicing that talent every single day. So I would focus on that. And then also what I would recommend, Raessa, is that you look at where these gates, which are also the gene keys, where are they located in your gene keys profile. Not all of the human design gates that are activated in the human design profile are on the gene keys hologenetic profile, but some of them are. So if they are, go find where they are. And also read the gene key from the Gene Keys book. Read the explanation, the chapter of that gene key in the Gene Keys book, because then you'll get a lot more insight into that connection. And I can't remember exactly what the circuitry is for this channel. I know that the 4323 is the individual circuitry, which means that part of you is here to be different, and that's just the way it is. Part of you is here to be an individual, so it's hard for people to tell you what to do. You really need to discover things in your own way, and so people can see you as very stubborn. But at the same time, it's like that's your gift. You're like on the edge of evolution because you are here to be different. You are here to be you're like a mutation. And so people look at you because you're an individual, and and really it's like you don't fit in anywhere. And that's what the individual circuitry makes you do, is like you really don't fit in. And so makes you feel like you don't fit in, and you don't, because you're not supposed to. And once you let go of that, like once I realized that and I let go of that, it's like, oh, I'm on the leading edge of evolution, because that's why I'm a threat to people. Especially the people that are very tribal and that are very sort of like connected to each other, very social. I'm not very social. That's because I'm an individual. And so it's hard for me to like hold relationships and really nurture relationships, because I'm an individual and I would rather be alone. You know what I mean? I like literally would rather be alone. You're a 2-4, no, you're a 5-1, sorry. So I would rather be alone. And so that's my thing, because I am also the hermit. But the individual is just meant to do things in their own way and different, and you just have to trust that. And I would look into that other channel that is defined in your chart to give you more insight into the other circuitry, but I can't remember right now which one that is. But anyways, there you go. I hope that was helpful for you. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Go with the flow is next. Nice. I love that. Yeah. Okay. All right. If you're thinking of getting on the list, I am going to do probably just like a couple more. We are on the last person on the list right now. So 2 more and then I'll be done. So if you're thinking of getting on the list, get on it now, because if no one gets on it by the time I'm done with this reading, then we're going to end the broadcast. But it's been super, super fun. Okay. So let's see. Go with the flow. Tarot reading. Okay. So what is the question that you have? Go with the flow for the tarot. I'm a medium. I do readings all day. And it's funny, I don't get readings from anyone. But I feel your energy is amazing. Oh, well, thank you. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. Hello, Dawn. Welcome in. We'll see what comes out. What is your question? My guides want me to pick a new path For they mean fully a new path, or just what I'm doing, but add to it. Okay, so just for clarification, you're receiving the message that you're supposed to like start a new path. And so you're wanting to know if they mean like fully a new path or add to what you're doing. All right, let's see what comes through. So we'll do the 5-card pull for you as well. We'll pull an intuition card, a challenge card, overall theme, and wisdom from the ancestors. So what's your name, if you don't mind me asking? I can just refer to you as Go With The Flow. What does Go With The Flow need to know about this insight that she is getting? And I totally, Florina, what does Florina need to know about this this insight that she's receiving? What will help her get some more clarity, understanding about this situation? What does she need to do? All right, what is the wisdom from the ancestors? Okay. Why don't you try it? Okay. It's because you don't understand how intuition works. You don't understand how messages work. And so there's no way for you to see it working. Thank you, moderators. Okay, here we go. It's much more than that. Yeah, I just want to, I mean, it's not a bad question, but the truth is that if you don't understand how it works, then you're not going to see it working. That's the thing, is if you don't understand how intuition and basically channels of information work, then you're not going to see it working. And it really is, perspective is a lot, but you do have to study symbols. You have to spend quite a few years like understanding your intuition, your design. You have to really understand how it all works and what is your divine gift. The cards are not often the messages themselves. The messages come through the person that's actually doing the reading. You learn the symbols, in the tarot, you learn the symbols of everything, and then you understand a deeper meaning of it. And when you understand the deeper meaning of it, eventually what ends up happening is you are the one that's like bringing the reading. The cards are just the tool to help you channel the reading, but everyone is different, and everyone has a different way of giving messages and receiving messages. And so it goes way beyond just cards and pictures on a page. And that's something that's really important for people to understand. That I think is definitely missing in the understanding of what like divination and these kinds of things are. Is it goes way, way, way beyond, and really you're looking at the person and like the experience that person has, and how gifted they are in being a channel. Like that's why I call my channel for grace. Like how gifted they are in being that channel for grace, for the wisdom to flow through. And it really does depend on how much you are open and to that. And some people are very naturally gifted at this, and then some people have to kind of practice it a lot, but at the same time it's very unique to the person who's doing the reading. So I don't mind that question. I do think that it can be very, very always, and we'll get to it in a second, Flo, but it's always, whenever anyone comes at a situation with basically this sort of this very, very kind of judgmental attitude, that just tells a lot, that says a lot about like that person. So just wanted to give some clarity into that, because I do think it's a good question, and at the same time it's always important to understand that there's so much more to it. Okay. All right. So let me see everything. Let me see what Flo was saying in the chat. Yes, exactly. Nobody should make decisions from any reader. It's just a guidance. It's not the answer. There's also that. It's annoying, funny, because this happens on my channel. So her saying that during my reading is so on point. What does it mean when I get a certain smell that comes to me? That could be one of your intuitive gifts. Thank you, Dawn, for being here. Yeah. Yes, intuition has been something that's been very suppressed. Thank you, Nelvin. Thank you. I appreciate that. Love that. So excited. Yeah, sometimes like the answers come through, and sometimes it's not even worth answering questions like that. But yeah, and that's exactly right. And that's something that I teach as well. It's just what would we call it? It's being naive about it. It's like thinking how it works when you really don't know how it works. And so I would recommend that with anything, before like throwing judgment on it, is that you actually go and understand like how it really works, and then like decide what you feel about it, but attacking people personally, that's really shows like very low character. Just want to make sure that that's clear as well. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. So yeah, clairsentient. Oh, I'm not explaining my gift. I am just saying like how, energy is energy, and it's very important to understand that you are energy. Everyone is energy. And so you're bringing in whatever energy you're bringing in. And for people that are, sensitive to energy, they're going to feel that. And you may be completely unaware that this is what's happening, but it is definitely palpable. So that would be my suggestion, is that you look in the fucking mirror. All right, we're done. Easy for people to see. By the way, those that are watching the replay, there's just weird stuff in the chat that I was responding to, but it's for people that are very sensitive and intuitive, it's very easy to like see where people are at, and it's like, okay, whatever, moving on. Okay, so let us get to what is important. And it's very interesting, that you were explaining, Flo, that this kind of thing happens, in your channel. I mean, honestly, like that's a message in itself, right? Like we can definitely come up with, I'm feeling like, obviously, like this is part of it. It's not, but you know what I mean? Like there's something, there's got to be something there. I mean, I feel like maybe like your spirit guides are saying like there's some form of protection that maybe is needed in some way, shape, or form that will give you the solidity, to like maybe expand, because you're talking about like they're saying you need to go on a new path. You need to enter into a new something new, and we'll see what the cards say in a second. But this is a form of expansion, and obviously, like as we expand, we're more exposed, right, to like many different things, and so it's so important to also understand that that somehow this is coming through is as you expand, and this definitely feels like an expansion for you, that you will need in a sense more protection. Okay. So let me see what messages you were saying. I was told the lightworkers need to stand up for their beliefs as well. It's not always love and light. Sometimes you gotta let some people know. And I go with my intuition. Like most of the time, I'll just like ignore things like that. But sometimes it's, like you're saying, it's like at some point, you have to just like establish the boundary. And I do definitely agree with that. I love you too, Melanie. Okay, it's part of it if that's a message right there. I asked the question, and there is always that voice that tries to tell me, okay, you're not good. You suck. You're not going to be anything, but I'm ready. I feel there's definitely like that. That's what happens. I wonder, I'm kind of curious about your human design now too, but let's just go with the cards and let's see what the cards say. All right. So the first card that you get, which is the intuition card, is, let me actually make sure I'm over here, is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. And I'm sure you have obviously, all of your personal intuitive ways of interpreting. So definitely watch that and watch the messages that come through for you as well. But the Knight of Pentacles it's interesting because this is about like the conservative energy, right? To me, it almost feels like conserve your energy. Interesting. Wow, and I'm wondering if you're a projector. So it's about conserving your energy and depending on something, like being either dependable yourself or depending on something. They're saying there's something you need to depend on. There's something that there's some kind of structure, and that actually fits in with what I was just getting with like setting a boundary or understanding that like if you expand, it's you're going to need that protection. And I to me, this card is coming through as this sort of what's going to protect you is having the structure. What's going to protect you is having those strong boundaries. And it could be that what they're also asking is that there is some kind of a structure that maybe you're either going to set up or that will help you to like the what's the word that's coming through? What I'm getting is like you maybe they're asking you to develop something that is going to help you keep things in order, kind of a thing, like keep things kind of contained, because that's what I'm feeling. Like it definitely needs to be contained for sure. This is the challenge card for you, and we did get the 10 of Swords. so curious as to if you're a 5-1, because this feels very much like kind of like heretic energy. Like there's a lot of, and I hate to read this like this, but it almost feels like there's kind of a lot of like, like psychic attacks on you, or, and I'm not one to really like buy into that stuff, but for some reason, obviously I believe in like that we attract, whatever is that into our lives, whatever is that we need to process, that we need to move through, and like we never really given more than we can handle, and that our soul chooses everything that we do in our lives. But this 10 of Swords is like, this is where you're coming from. Like this is, you are moving forward, but you're coming from a place where like there's just a lot on you. Like there's been a lot of sort of hits on you, and it may feel like you're at a point where like something definitely needs to change. This is also a new beginning. This marks a new beginning. So it is challenging because something will have to change, right? You'll have to come up with something new, that from this point forward, it's going to be different. From this point forward, it's going to change. But what is ending, which is the good news, is the old, whatever constant, whatever has been, like the constant, the same as it's always been. Kind of hard for me to find the words right now, but the flow that it has constantly always been like for you in terms of like your gift and your work and your sharing is actually, you're moving to a different energy. And so it is about moving away from the past. That's the other thing I'm getting from this card, is move away from the past, move away from whatever, like the swords can represent both things that happen to you, but also that they're the swords. So it's the mind, right? It's connected to the element of the mind and the thoughts. And the thoughts can have such a huge impact on, like, also on ourselves. Like we get this very like intense, sometimes we do this to ourselves. I was just talking about in the other tarot card I did earlier today, where we have to really be careful with like what we're doing with our thoughts and our mind, because we're perpetuating things, and thoughts have like the frequencies that will create and generate things. We're always generating things just by way of our vibration, and our thoughts, we often forget like that they have a powerful effect on everything around us. And so this also has to do with messages. Check in with your thoughts. But what I see overall is this, it is that it is a new beginning, that you are moving away from something into something different, and that you have to move away from the past. Whatever that means for you, what has been going on until now, you have to walk away from it. And now it's a new beginning. What is the new beginning? What is the overall theme? You actually get the Two of Cups. So this is beautiful because this has to do with balance. It's about finding balance. This has to do with, obviously, it can have to do with a partner or a partnership. Most often we look at this card and we think, oh, it's the card of like soulmates, or it's the card of those deep soul connections, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like romantic. It can be about working with someone who is also just as intuitive as you. This is the water element. And I feel it's like maybe you are going to be entering into a partnership with someone. Maybe you're going to be working on something with someone, on some kind of a project, intuitive project, something that is right along the lines of what you already do. And this can also be, in this card, it looks like it's a mirror. So it's the offering, right? They're offering the cups, and in this case they look like singing bowls. So beautiful. So sound healing, sound vibration, sound energy, and what do they call it? Sound baths and things like that. It could be related to sound, literally, but it also is like the offering of your heart. They're asking you to offer your heart to yourself, because I feel like this is the mirror image of you. And like I said, it could be you're going to be working with someone in a partnership, or just an intuitive endeavor with someone else. And this is the new thing. It's maybe you've been doing this on your own for so long that maybe it's time to work with someone else to bring a new energy, but it has to be like loving, and it has to be nurturing, and it has to be compassionate. And so you have to give that to yourself first, so that you can find like that in the other, in a sense. But it's a new path. Like you can see in this card too, there is a path. It's the offering and then the beginning to walk forward. This is about trusting yourself, your intuition, maybe more than you ever have right now. It's very interesting because the wisdom from the ancestors that's coming through for you is the 7 of Cups. So in a sense, they're saying like, we just want you to like do more. Like we look at you have a lot of options. They're not saying like it has to be this. I think they're inviting you to find the answers that come from within, from your heart space, that move you away from that old energy into a new energy where there is, there's healthy boundaries, there's powerful connections to you, and they are also the kind of connections that give you the ability to make your own decisions. And it's almost like, in some weird way, it's like they're throwing it back on you, but just saying like, you have a lot of options, and there is definitely something new that has to begin here. There's definitely something new. I think it's just a matter of looking around and seeing what are all the different directions, right? Because this card, the path on this 2 of Cups looks like there's a path. There is a path forward, but it's really up to you which way you take it. But there's a lot of choices. Use your imagination, use your intuition to help you to understand where it is to go next. That's what I'm getting here. And let me check the messages. For some reason, the messages stopped coming through on my thing. Okay, here we go. I've been on a hard mission setting boundaries. Okay, yes, my crown chakra is going off, a system and strategy. Jai, I wonder. Oh, that's hilarious, Melanie. I've battled a lot in the spirit realm. Wow, I haven't even seen any of these messages. Weird. And yes, feeling like that, but I know it's time, and I've been thinking like a whole new person. I stopped paying mind to the yeah. And I think that's very important. That card was so visually on point. It looks like we bounce off one another perfectly. Nice. Oh, I love that. I love that this is resonating for you. Dawn says chill, sound baths, mirror. Yeah. Thank you so much. Don't take too much time. Oh, it's okay. No worries. No one else has signed up after you, so we're good. Yes, I do music and write, and I act and do comedy. They're wanting me to create and enjoy myself too. I'm always helping others. Yeah, definitely feels like it's time to think about you, for sure. That's what I feel. And I like that Dawn said that the answers are within. But look at the powerful. So we also pull an animal spirit card, and you got the crow or the raven. They're kind of the same energy, but this is magic, right? This is like shamanic energy, like shamanism. This is about stepping into your magic. And I think that what they're showing you, or at least what they're showing me, is that there's the little crystal ball, and it's not like this, psychic ability to like, tell the future. It's not like that. They want you to step into your magic. They want you to begin to trust in your magic more. And there's a lot of opportunities out there. And I feel that very, very strongly. And so this is also interesting because the crow feels very much like, the in a sense, to me, at least in this reading, like the pentacle energy, which is the crow is like, it's no joke, you know, like there's a lot of power that the crows have like this sort of magical essence about them. And when you are in their presence, it's like, you know, they're like these huge birds and they're like everywhere. And I think it's also a message about stepping into it's like discernment, to discern what's right for me and what's not for me. And also to understand, like, this is how I step into my magic. This is how I step into my power, by understanding that I have it, first of all. Oh my God, the raven passes my car every day. Things I knew, just hearing it out loud is awesome. I love that. Love that. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we get for you. I hope that this resonated for you, Flo. And again, thank you so much for getting a reading tonight. And like I said, I don't think there's anyone else on the list. So I believe, I'm going to check it real quick just in case, but I believe that we are complete. So you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, everybody. I'm so excited. Tomorrow is my birthday, and I am going to be going to a ceremony. I'm so excited about it, and I can't wait when I get back to share with you the experience that I had. So appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you again. I will be back on YouTube on Monday. Should be back Monday evening to do the weekly astrology for the week. So thank you. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you all again very soon. Sat Nam.